Love at Midnight, Intermediate, B2. From a young age, Emily lived in a house that looked like it came from a modern fairy tale. An elegant mansion, perfect gardens, and large windows where sunlight entered every morning. Her father, a respected businessman, always said that the house was the symbol of everything he had built to secure his daughter's future. After her mother's death, silence took over the house. Years later, her father married again. Helen seemed kind at first and arrived with her two daughters, almost the same age as Emily, Vanessa and Claire. At first, Emily believed she had finally gained sisters. She dreamed of laughter, secrets, and afternoons in the garden. But the affection did not last long. Over time, the looks changed. The smiles became fake. Small comments turned into humiliation. Then came the final blow. Emily's father became seriously ill and had to travel to another country for medical treatment. He promised to return soon. He promised to call every day. But days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months, and he never came back. With the man of the house absent, Helen showed her true nature. "Since you live under my roof, you will help," she said on a cold morning, throwing a bucket of dirty clothes at Emily's feet. From that day on, Emily stopped being an heiress and became a servant. While Vanessa and Claire wore expensive dresses, studied at elite schools, and attended luxurious parties, Emily cleaned, cooked, washed, and served. She slept in a small room at the back of the mansion. Even so, she remained beautiful. With time, her beauty became impossible to ignore. Expressive eyes, a gentle smile, and a natural elegance that even old clothes could not hide. And that awakened something dangerous in her stepmother: jealousy, fear. Helen knew that if high society discovered who Emily really was, everything could change. So she did everything to erase her, until the event of the year was announced: a luxurious masked ball hosted by one of the richest families in the city. Every young woman dreamed of attending, especially because the most desired heir in the country would be there. Leonard, handsome, polite, wealthy, and single. Helen was almost beside herself with excitement. "My daughters must be there," she said. "One of them will win that young man." But when Emily timidly asked if she could go, the slap came first. The cruel laugh followed. "You? In the same ballroom as important people? Look at yourself." And she was forbidden to leave the gate. On the night of the ball, the mansion filled with expensive dresses and sophisticated perfumes. Emily stayed in the kitchen, helping the staff. Everyone knew the injustice. "You are the true owner of this house?" the housekeeper whispered. That was when the old butler remembered. Her mother's dress, kept for years, untouched, elegant, as if waiting for that very moment. They brought it to her. When Emily put it on, silence filled the room. She looked like a modern princess. The staff improvised a delicate mask, fixed her hair, and placed long gloves on her hands. "Go live what is rightfully yours where you are," they said. And the butler secretly took her to the ball. The ballroom shone, giant chandeliers, live music, elegant laughter. Emily entered shyly, amazed by everything. She was not looking for anyone important. She was not trying to impress. She watched the dances, admired the details, and tasted new foods as if she were in a dream. And that was exactly what caught Leonard's attention. Surrounded by girls desperate for his attention, he could only look at that mysterious young woman who seemed happy simply to be there. No interest in status, no games, only wonder. He approached her. "Would you like to dance?" he asked. She almost refused. until she saw her stepmother and stepsisters approaching. Yes, she answered quickly, but he smiled. Even better. Let's escape. They laughed as they ran toward the garden, lit by small lights. They talked for hours. He taught her a few dance steps. She told him she loved observing the world. It was the lightest night of both their lives, until the bell rang. Midnight. What is that? She asked, frightened. It's when everyone removes their masks. Panic took over her. I need to go. Wait, what's your name? But Emily was already running. In her hurry, one of her gloves fell. Leonard tried to follow her, but she quickly entered the butler's car and disappeared into the night. He was left holding only the glove and a completely broken heart. In the following days, Leonard tried to find her. He searched, asked questions, looked at events. Nothing. Until his mother arranged a dinner with an influential family, Emily's mansion. When he arrived, he saw a young woman serving drinks, hair tied back, simple clothes, but her eyes, they were the same. His heart raced. He discreetly followed her through the corridors until she stopped, nervous. It was you at the ball, wasn't it? She cried. She told him everything. About the stepmother, about the humiliations, about being the true heiress. Leonard promised to help her and used his connections to find Emily's father. Shortly after the truth began to surface, Emily's father received a letter asking him to return to his hometown without explaining the reason. The letter carried the surname of Leonard's family. Emily's father returned. After a long time away due to medical treatment, he was finally able to come back to the country. During that time, he believed the house was in order, that his wife was taking care of everything, and most of all, that his daughter was protected. But only a few hours inside the mansion were enough to realize something was wrong. Emily's absence at the table, the embarrassed servants, the heavy atmosphere. It was the housekeeper who, with tears in her eyes, told him everything. About the small room at the back, about the forced work, about his heiress daughter turned into a servant inside her own home. The ground seemed to disappear beneath his feet. He called Emily, hugged her as he had not done in years, and cried. I failed you, he said, but this ends now. That same night, he confronted Helen. The documents had already been discovered, the fraud exposed, the cruelty impossible to deny. The marriage ended there. Helen lost everything. She and her daughters were forced to leave the mansion, taking only what was legally theirs. No public scandals, no mercy. The house could finally breathe again. Emily left the small back room and returned to her old bedroom, now beside her father, slowly rebuilding what had been broken. Father and daughter, finally together again. Months later, with everything resolved legally and emotionally, love was free to grow without shadows. Emily was finally recognized, but the greatest reward was not the inheritance, it was love. Leonard asked Emily to marry him. Not to save you, he said, but to walk beside you. She smiled, finally free. The forgotten girl became the woman society admired, and the modern Cinderella proved that no injustice lasts forever.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment your favorite part.